Good evening, Falcons fans. My name is Patrick Seals, and welcome to the Week 2 NFL Tuesday morning mix-up. It is Monday evening. I know I got a late start to this mix-up mashup going on right now, man. So I'm going to do a little something and work my way backwards, man. I'm going to review and react to all the games that took place over the weekend, except for those dreaded Dirty Birds, because nobody needs to be taken to that sunken place where the Falcons blew a 28-3 comeback with Marcus Marinero. Just sucks. Okay, moving on. So it is Monday Night Football. We had a doubleheader here where the Vikings took on the Eagles, and of course the Eagles won 24-7. Kirk Cousins threw 3 interceptions and he fumbled the ball, man. Kirk Cousins has been a long-time starter for these Minnesota Vikings, and if they ever want to get past the hump, the playoff hump, they have to get rid of Kirk Cousins. All right, the Buffalo Bills took on the Tennessee Titans, where the Buffalo Bills blew out the Tennessee Titans 41-7. Josh Allen had 26 completions for 38 attempts. He had 317 yards for 4 touchdowns. Well, he threw the ball to Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had 12 receptions for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. This dude, Stephon Diggs, went off, man. This Buffalo Bills team is a well-oiled machine right now. I know my cousin will be happy to hear me say that they stumped a mud hole in the Tennessee Titans and walked it dry. This Buffalo Bills team is kind of scary. Be on the lookout for them to do some serious damage in the playoffs coming this season. So, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers took on the Chicago Bears, where Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears, and that trend has continued with the Packers won 27-10. Aaron Jones, the running back, had 15 carries for 132 yards. He was averaging 8.8 yards a carry and a touchdown. That's right. Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears over his NFL career, and that trend has continued to go on. So, the Cardinals took on the Raiders yesterday, where the Cardinals won in overtime 29-23. That's right. The Cardinals beat the Raiders in overtime. Let's move on. The Texans took on the Broncos, where the Broncos won 16-9, where Cortland Sutton had 7 receptions for 122 yards. Man, the Broncos, of course, coming off that debacle of a loss where the coach decided to go for a long field goal. And if anybody knows about long field goals being missed, I know about that. So, I hate this next one I'm going to talk about. The Dallas Cowgirls of Texas in the Lone Star State took on the Bengals, the AFC representative in the Super Bowl, where Joe Burrow has slowly turned back into Macaulay Culkin, where the Cowboys won 20-17. The defense had 6 sacks and Joe Burrow fumbled the ball. Joe Burrow is no longer looking like an NFL MVP. He is going back to looking like Macaulay Culkin, where he's left all alone at home. So, the San Francisco 49ers took on the Seattle Seahawks, where the Seattle Seahawks lost 27-7, and I hope that the Atlanta Falcons can beat the Seattle Seahawks next week. But before we do that, we got to remember that the 49ers caused 3 turnovers in this game, where Trey Lance left this game with an ankle injury, and it's been confirmed that he suffered an ankle fracture in this game, and he will be missing the rest of the season, where Jimmy Garoppolo stepped in and won this game for the 49ers. Now, let's just go on this journey that Jimmy Garoppolo has went on. He got drafted by the Patriots, I think in 2014, and he got traded to the San Francisco 49ers, where Kyle Shanahan came in and told him he was going to be the future of the 49ers franchise. Now, along the way, somewhere, Garoppolo got benched. The 49ers drafted Trey Lance a couple years ago, and now Trey Lance, he started for the 49ers this season, and he got hurt. And now Jimmy Garoppolo is back starting for the San Francisco 49ers, where he is leading his team to victory, man. So I don't know. Be on the lookout for them coming out of the NFC West if they can make it past, that's right, the LA Rams. So, the game of the week, the Dolphins versus the Ravens. The Dolphins won 42-38 when the Dolphins were down big 35-14. Tua, I don't know how to say his full name. Tua had 36 completions for 50 attempts. He had 469 yards passing for 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. When Tyreek Hill had 11 receptions for 190 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. And Tua is definitely my player of the week, because I've definitely been very, very high I've been low on the Tua train. I haven't been very good on Tua. I've said that he was going to be a buzz washout because he's an Alabama quarterback, and like all Alabama quarterbacks, they suck. But except for Tua, he come in the league today and he tossed the ball for 469 yards when he was playing against Lamar Jackson, and they was down, and he threw the game-winning touchdown. Man, this dude Tua, he was balling today. Now, talk about the game-winning offensive player of the week. Let's talk about the NFL defensive player of the week, Matt Ryan. That's right. Matt Ryan and the Indianapolis Colts took on the Jacksonville Jaguars, with a Colts lost 24-0. Can you believe it? Matt Ryan didn't even score a touchdown in this game. But he did have an outstanding defensive performance. He had 3 interceptions, 5 sacks, and he fumbled the ball. That's right, Matt Ryan is definitely the defensive player of the week, with his team amassing 5 total turnovers and him being a part of 4. Matt Ryan, again, had 3 interceptions, he had 5 sacks, and he fumbled the ball. As that's right, Matt Ryan, take a bow, because you are my NFL Defensive Player of the Week, and you play quarterback. I wonder how that happens. Moving on. The Patriots took on the Steelers, where the Patriots finally got back in the win column. They won 17-14, where Nelson Aguilar had 6 receptions for 110 yards, and he had 1 touchdown. We hate the Patriots. Let's move on. The Giants took on the Carolina Panthers, where the Giants won 19-16, and everybody's talking about how Daniel Jones is finally leading his team to a 2-0 start, but they're playing the Panthers. They haven't played anybody. The Bucs took on the Saints, where a game where I hope everybody loses, where the Buccaneers defense had 6 sacks and 5 turnovers, and Mike Evans was suspended coming out of this game for having unsportsmanlike conduct against Marshawn Lattimore. Everybody in the NFC South hates Marshawn Lattimore. We thank you, Mike Evans, for doing those due diligence, but we also hate you too. So, the Lions won against the Commodores, where they won 36-27. Jared Goff had 20 completions for 34 attempts. He had 256 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, man. And then his receiver, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher his name, Aramusesh Brown, had 9 receptions for 116 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, man. This Lions team is off to a fantastic start. I haven't seen this play this good in a long time, especially scoring big points like this. Of course, they lost last week, but they're scoring big points. Back-to-back 30-point games. So, the Jets came back against the Browns, where they were down 31-17, where the Browns let the Jets win. Joe Flacco had 26 completions for 44 attempts. He had 307 yards passing for 4 touchdowns. And Garrett Wilson had 8 receptions for 102 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. The Jets came back and beat the Browns. I heard everybody chanting Jets, Jets. They still suck. Don't forget that. And of course, Thursday night game, whatever only happened on Amazon Prime for some reason, where the Chiefs took on the Chargers, where they won 27-24. Justin Herbert had 33 completions for 48 attempts. He had 334 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and a loss, man. It's been a doozy of a week here in NFL. A lot of highlights, a lot of games. Like I said again, Tua is my Offensive Player of the Week, and Matt Ryan is my Defensive Player of the Week. I'll see you back here next week, man. My name is Patrick Seals. Y'all like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what y'all think about this NFL week, man. I'll see you when I see you. Peace!